the question of how to move things in a sexual direction with a woman that you're interested in, a woman that you've just met, that's what all this is about, is how to escalate, how to move things forward. That starts, I think, guys' biggest initial hump is the approach anxiety, being afraid to approach, or, knowing what to do, knowing what to say. And that's part of escalation too. Everything is escalation. So once you can get over that and you can actually meet women and talk to them and get in conversation, the next step is, okay, how do I make it sexual? How do I start flirting? How do I get physical and kind of make that sexual spark happen? I have a really big video that I recorded just on this very thing that helps out a lot. The Sexual Supremacy Program gets way into that. I've recorded a lot of material and written a lot about this, but there's the way I think about escalation and getting sexual with a woman is I don't think of it in a linear process. Like, okay, step one is do this, step two, you want to do an insta date or isolator, or, step three is some sort of comfort thing, some sort of phase, right? I don't think in linear steps. And when I did, when I first started learning like some of the pickup stuff way back, years ago, almost a decade ago, when I stopped thinking in terms of, linear steps, that's when everything started to actually happen way smoother and easier. And the interactions actually became fun. They weren't like I didn't feel like I was working or doing some sort of chore to like get sex from the girl. It was just happening very naturally, very effortlessly. First of all, the gates of control. What the gates of control, I use the term gate because it's sort of a metaphor for what's happening, is the person, the woman, is becoming receptive. So she's opening up to you. And the reason why people give up control is the same reason why women have sex with a man, because for a woman, having sex with a man, at least initially, is about giving up control of her body, basically. So these receptive states are respect, safety, and anticipation. I don't talk about attraction. I don't talk about seduction. I don't talk about value or status, mainly because that stuff isn't really relevant anymore. That the status games aren't deeply hardwired into a woman's biology. Respect, safety, and anticipation are. Because again, women don't have sex to get something from you. I mean, sometimes, they do, like maybe a woman sleeping with her boss to get a promotion, stuff like that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about a man meeting a woman. And it's a social situation, and, it's moving in a sexual direction, a romantic direction. So what's happening is you want to take control of her body, and she wants to give up control. She enjoys it. It feels good to a woman. It's surrender, all right? Surrender is a kind of the perfect word to understand a woman's sexual process at first. And then once she becomes comfortable and feels safe, she can start to be more proceptive or initiate sex, initiate intimacy. But initially, it's typically a process of surrender for the woman. So surrender, in other words, giving up control. Why do we do it? Respect, safety, anticipation. And again, the gates are sort of a metaphor for kind of give you like a visual or a feeling of what's happening in the interaction. Instead of just thinking about saying a lot of words and spinning your wheels and hoping for a good result, kind of like throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and hoping some sticks, right? So that's how a lot of guys approach women. That's their methodology. Other guys have like this, if you're more into the pickup stuff, you have like this linear process, this sort of pre-scripted, pre-planned thing. Problem with that is that can actually slow you down, and you can end up like trying to stick to this script when you can like make a detour, make a shortcut, and make things happen a lot faster. And that's not because I advocate rushing into sex or sleeping with women as fast as possible as if it's a sport. What I mean is there's a connection happening and she's feeling it. And if you sort of miss that window of opportunity, if you're not escalating as she becomes receptive, as she gives up control, you take it. If you're not doing that, you risk the chance of her becoming bored, her maybe feeling like you're not interested, or just missing the potential to make like a really powerful sexual romantic connection fast. Like, and if you do it at the right time, when she's receptive, it has more of an emotional impact for her. It just feels like it was meant to be, or kind of like a movie moment kind of feeling. So when you stop thinking about escalation in a linear way and instead think about these gates, and the thing about the gates is you can open them like simultaneously. So you can open like 2 or 3 at the same time. And the more they become open, the more receptive she is to you.